Hey guys, so this is my latest LEGO model called the Tensegrity Structure. Now a tensegrity structure, which is made of the words tension and integrity, is a structure made up of tension and compression members where the compression members don't actually touch. And so it looks like a kind of floating structure, which is quite pretty, I think you'll find. So quickly about the format of this video. First of all, I'm just going to talk about the structure for a bit, and then we're going to go into the instructions as to how you can make one yourself. Now, because this is actually the first successful attempt I've done at actually making one, I'm not sure if it's going to work the second time round. So if you're hearing this, that means that this current model is better than the one that I'm going to do in the instructions, like in the next section. But okay, so just looking at it first, this is an expanded octahedron model. I know it doesn't really look like one because it's all kind of deformed out of shape. That's because the tensions in the rubber bands are all very, very sensitive, and so even though it should be of a regular shape, it's all kind of deformed slightly out. But as you can see, all of the beams are all floating off the ground, as you can kind of see, which is, I think, very, very pretty. So there are 4 rubber bands here, each going through these 2 beams there, each attached to the other 4 beams using these blue pins there. I'm actually doing my 4th year engineering project on these tensegrity structures, so it's pretty relevant for me. So it's very geometrical. Ideally, they would be like parallel in pairs, but you can see that those 2 have kind of gone twisted a bit out of planes, and same with these ones as well. But that's partly because of the design. I'm not really sure if this is the best layout for the rubber bands, but there you go. Right, I'm going to take this apart now and move on to the instructions. Right, so onto the instructions. So overall method for making the tensegrity structure, which by the way looks a bit like this. It's an octahedron with rubber bands, well, with strings between the nodes. The general method for it is to create the octahedral frame, stick the rubber bands around the outside, and then very carefully remove the stuff from the inside. And that last bit is the most delicate and the most difficult. So what you will need is 6 fairly long beams. These are 15 beams. They're probably the longer the better, I think. You'll also need 6 shorter beams so currently these are 15s and I think these are 9s. In theory they could be a bit shorter. I think 7s or maybe 5s. No, 5s could do it, I think. But oh well, we're using this anyway. And you'll need a lot of blue pins. You'll want blue pins in 4 of the long ones. Try and orientate the pins such that the grooves are perpendicular to the line of the beam, if you know what I mean. Like so. Do that with 4 of them. And then as for these, stick these blue pins 7 apart. Orientation of these doesn't matter. Do that for 5 of them. Leave this one aside for a sec, and it helps if you have the stoppered ones instead. Not very important, we'll get to that later. You'll also need 4 rubber bands, which I've marked at quarter points, as in I've marked them equally around. Hopefully that will help me with the placement, I don't know, here's hoping. And then just a long stick for removing pins later. Right, so first of all, we'll grab the 2 without any pins in the end. These are the ones where the rubber bands are going to go through them, actually through the end holes. So what you want to do is stick these through so that they're about 5 apart. There you go. So the general idea is that we're making a 5 by 7 rectangle with these I found that it was actually better to have the beams on opposite sides of the main two, like so. And so it looks like that from the side. That's to stop it from sliding around later. You'll see why as it gets on. So from now on, it gets a little bit more complicated because things have to go in and out of each other, and it's a little bit more delicate. So let's see. Right, so that one has to go in there. Now it's from here on that you have to be a bit more careful. So that one goes in there, that's fine. Like so. But then we have to close off the rectangle. Like so. Hang on. Put that in there. Stick that in there. Right. Okay, so that's two of the frames. So you can see that they're interlocked now. You can't really separate these. And that's currently sliding around a bit. And then that should be fixed when we get to the last two. So, last two. We want this to go in... Oh, which orientation is it? That way round. So that way round. But it's got to go through the... You can see that there are two gaps there. Yeah, that's where it's going through. So, that one goes in through here into that hole. Right, we're doing okay. Oh, no. And then that one goes in through there. Right, and then this final one is a bit more tricky because you either have to stretch stuff around or just insert the pins from one side. So it's good. So looking at that orientation, this last one goes in that top corner, slides in through there, and so we close things off like so. See what I mean? And then that's why I'm putting these top pins in there. That's also so we know which one to take out first later. Right, so that pin's going in there, that pin is going in. Hang on. There. Right. There you go. So this is the completed frame. Now you see that there is a little bit of movement in there. Try and make sure that things are at 90 degrees to each other, because that will make our job easier later. And because of the way that we've set it up, stuff can't really slide around that much because everything is on the opposite. Oh, yes. Oh no, it's fine. I think we're all good. Yeah, we're all good. So everything is on the opposite side of its connection. That's what's stopping things from moving side to side. Right, so that is the completed frame. Whew. Now, the method for the 4 rubber bands is that each one will go through one of these 3 pinless ends of the beam, and the general shape will be a triangle like that, going from where is it? Here, over round here, down here, back up, down, across, and then back. Obviously this will depend on the length of rubber band. In case it wasn't obvious, get 4 identical rubber bands of the same length, same kind of stiffness, and so the overall shape, which you will see as it goes along, will look a bit like a bow tie. So I put little black marks on the 4 points of this rubber band. Will hopefully help me in a second. Right, so I'm going to pull that through until the black marks line up. Brilliant, and then hopefully keep that there. So this back rubber band goes round the back and then down. Now the question is whether you want to actually attach it to the pins yet. I usually attach this back one, but not the front one yet. Okay, right, pull that back through. We want to try and align the black marks, don't we? Put that back through. put that round like so. Right, so you'll see it looks kind of a bit like a butterfly, two triangles like that. I can already see the black marks have gone out of line, so let's see if I can fix that now before it gets too late. Just for reference, where are the other black marks? Okay, so the other black mark is about halfway along between those two, and then the other one is, ooh, also halfway along. Right, maybe that's the proper reference point, I don't know. But that is one of them complete. You'll notice that as you're making this, it will deform out of shape. It's quite hard to try to stop it from doing that, because, well, as you can see, it's quite very sensitive, and we'll be removing those the connection bits later. So we're going to do the same thing every time, except it's going to get a bit more fiddly each time because there are loads of rubber bands in the way. So that goes through there, this goes down and round, that goes down there, that one hooks on the front. Oh, something's come undone. I would venture that this is the most fiddly thing I've ever made. Oh, Christ. Right, so that has to go back around there. Put it around. Okay, so that's the top done. Now, as you can see, it's already gone a bit, right? So you can try and fix things as they go along. Let's try and find the black mark, shall we? Black marks, oh gosh, no, it's all gone out, it's all gone out. So that's gone there. You can try maybe shifting that along there. You'd be surprised how much give there is in these rubber bands. If you kind of want to pin things down, quite literally, you can actually put them into these slots and you'll find that that keeps the rubber bands where they are. You know what, let's do that for now. Okay, and then hopefully sort that later. So you can see that that one, triangle, triangle, like so. You know what, while we're here, let's just pin these ones as well. And then, there you go, right. So that's the top half done. Black mark's moved, let's try putting that back. No, too much. Right. Okay, right, so that's that bit done, and then let's move it to the other side, do the exact same thing. Yeah, it was because I saw my supervisor with a wooden version of this kind of model on his desk, and I thought, I want one of those. And you can get these online. But they're rather expensive for what they are, really, so I figured I'd try and make one. And so I just stole a few rubber bands from work, and yeah, let's hope that this works. You know what, let's try putting the two at the sides in first. Maybe that will work. Put that to the side, bring that down, stick that in between there, stick that down there. You know what, I'm just going to just connect them all and then check the black marks later, because I have no idea how important these black marks are, really. I didn't include them in my previous attempt. Right, so that goes in through there, that goes back, that goes back. You know what, doing it back first really makes it a lot easier. That goes down, and then that goes down. Right, okay, so those are all the rubber bands in place. We'll do a black mark check, shall we? So pull that towards the middle. Where's this one gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? No, can't see it. Okay, so you can actually stretch them quite a lot. So I'll pull that one so it's towards the middle. Can't find the black mark over this end. Nope. Right, pull that towards this end. Might cut this bit out of the video, I don't know. But as you can see, there's rather a lot of small adjustments to be made. black marks there. Let's pull this one a bit more. That's around in the middle. That's around in the middle. Yeah. Ideally I'd do this with Lego rubber bands, but that's not how it works, is it? Right, so you can see it's already deforming. Do what you can to try and undeform it now, because the more you can do when there's a frame to keep it up, the better. So in theory, right, let's get our bearings back. Put things at 90 degrees again. That's roughly in the middle, that's roughly in the middle. Okay. Right. Oh gosh, no, that one's gone out of line, that one's gone way out of line. Pull that back, pull that back, pull that back. Gosh, you can see it's so sensitive because there are just so many different members, right? Oh no, that one needs to go back through. Okay, you know what? Let's try it like this, because actually that's not too bad. So, right, just to check, these are the two main ones. Those are where the rubber bands are being passed through, and then each going with their triangle formation. Oh, that's gone out of line. Right, so now that we've made the frame, now that we've attached the rubber bands, we're going to try taking out the middle bit of the frame. So this is possibly the hardest bit. I'm going to start with these stoppers. Quite glad I put them in there actually, because that makes this job a lot easier. So be very, very careful. Try not to move the pins around too much. Yeah, also be careful not to stretch the rubber bands too much. I've already been through a few that snapped when I tried to make this. Right, so take that out. Yeah, and it will twist and bend slightly. You can see that one's already gone. Let's try and take that out. Right, that one's out. You'll find that there's a fairly distinct order that you have to take the connection beams out. So now that we've taken that one out, this one we can push through. So let's do that. Nice and delicate. Okay. Now these beams will twist, which is a side effect. Hopefully it shouldn't matter too much. Which is the next one we have to take out? That one, that one, that one. Here you go, there it is. Right, so that's now. There you go. It's not actually deforming that much, which is a good sign. By the way, this is why I'm using 3 pins rather than 2 pins, so that I can push them up from the other side just to get these out. Much easier than trying to pull. Okay, so that's coming out. Oh no. Okay, so these are twisted. These are completely twisted out, as you can see. That's bad, but it's keeping the octahedral shape, which is promising. Right, push those out. Push that out through there, and now that one's twisting. Push that one out. Okay, right. So that is 5 out of 6, and then last one. Push that out there. Pull that, and pull. Oh no, something's coming down. I think. No? Oh, and we're done. I think we're done. So there we have it. There's our completed tensegrity structure. So this one actually looks better than the first one that I made, I think. Like, it has twisted slightly, but I'm pretty sure I felt something come out. But I don't know, maybe I was thinking. how it goes round. Yeah, you can see that where the triangles were, but it's because it's all slightly deformed, it's not quite the triangle anymore. But there you go, there's a completed model. Oh, I'm quite happy with that. Ta-da! So there is a model that's standing up purely using rubber band tensions. So that is my completed Tensegrity model, and thanks for watching. Okay, hold that thought. For some reason something went wrong with the video compiling the first time, which I didn't notice, so this is a re-upload. I figured I may as well show you that I've remade it but with string instead. As a kind of very thin, kind of wiry string even. 2 lengths which wrap around. And so it's a lot more symmetrical geometrically, which is quite nice, I guess. The annoying thing is that the difference between string and rubber bands is that string can go slack a lot more easily. So even though this is a lot more robust and it's less likely to collapse, it also, you know, like oh well. Figured I may as well show you that. This is probably a safer storage version to make, I guess. Though I think I'll keep the rubber bands one as the main deviation. Yeah. If you want to make this very similar kind of method, you can see that I pinned the ends with little pins there, just to keep it there, try and keep it tense. So yeah, cool. Right, thanks for watching. Whee!